Okay, so this is actually another podcast question of the week. I need to know that. I need to understand this, and I'm not even trying to goad for an answer here. I legitimately want to know. I always hear how the PS3 and now the 4 layout, I always hear how it's bad, and that the 360 layout is better.
No.
I've heard that from people before.
No.
I agree. But now I'm hearing Xbox One has a way better interface than the PS4.
No.
I just don't get, personally, when I turn on a Sony system, I see lists of everything, and I know where they are. When I turn on an Xbox, I just see piles of shit. I feel
specifically, advertisements and videos that are just playing themselves.
Yeah.
But I don't understand, because I always hear, the cross-media bar of PS3 is the worst thing ever. No one has ever... I'm being honest here. No one's ever been able to articulate to me in any way why it's bad.
Because it's so simple, and you know exactly how the file tree works. Everything's left and right and down.
Hey, someone said to me once, it's almost too simple.
Oh yeah,
as a mark against it.
What?
So legitimately, I'm not even trying.
It's easy to figure out, guys. It sucks.
I really want to hear. People email podcast at Mega64.com. I want to hear what you have to say. If you feel that way, I just don't understand.
Maybe there are people who really feel comfortable with like overstimulation and like.
I don't know.
I'm not even trying to be funny, but maybe I'm not that kind of person. But there might be people out there who just like videos and stuff moving and stuff
I agree with
swirling around and flashing in front of them, regardless of whether
they think that's cool.
And when that's not there, they feel like it's empty and hollow.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah. Hey, that's a really interesting distinction. I think you're right.
I never thought about that.
Maybe
me neither.
Maybe people are hyper.
I just love knowing that all my shit is in categories from left to right, and then you scroll down to get it. That's how the old XMB or cross media bar worked. With the PS4, it's a little different, but it seems even snappier. Any of the options and networking and messaging and any of that shit that you want to look at is all up above.
Yeah.
And then you still have a line of categories. Then you drop down into the options for each category.
So I agree, and I like it better. But I've seen a lot of like sites who we're comparing the two systems, which gets the award, whatever. But when they give awards for interface, the Xbox One keeps winning.
I just don't.
And I don't understand it.
That.
Now, what I will say, where it may be better, is that Xbox One will let you make, I joked about this before, but a menu where you can pin all your favorite stuff.
That's cool.
And you can't really customize anything on the PS4. So maybe that's why people like it more. But
you can't customize anything on PS4 because it's so simple.
Yeah, you don't need to. But I really want to hear from people who prefer the Xbox One layout. Why is it better? I'm genuinely curious. I want to know.
How is the loading on Xbox One? Because I'm surprised at how fast Battlefield 4 loads. I can turn on the system, start the game, and be playing in a map within like 3 minutes. All three of those.
It seems good. The install times are way longer on the Xbox.
Oh, really?
When you first pop in a game, you come back in a fucking hour on that thing.
Install was rough on the PS4, but it let me start playing halfway through the installation.
And Xbox can do that too. So
but like the system turns on and is up in like under 30 seconds.
Yeah.
It takes longer for my TV to warm up. And then by the time I hit start on Battlefield 4, it's like maybe 20, 30 seconds again, and then I'm in the menus choosing which map I'm going to play.
Yeah. And I was going to say too real quick, with the one thing with the Xbox that I kind of was like, well, that's cool in the beginning, and now I'm kind of turning on a little bit too, is I do think it's cool. Okay, it's got HDMI in for your cable and all that stuff. And, now that I've seen it in action, I thought it's like, why not add more features? Why not?
Yeah.
Like, I think that's cool that they throw it in. And, it's funny that now that it's there and I'm messing with it, it's like a lifeline to old shit. Do you know what I mean?
You don't want your Xbox
I see all the apps you can get for it and how cool they are, and I just feel like maybe we should focus on this and not, like...
Cable.
Get your cable hooked up. It feels like...
Well, yeah, but people have cable.
Yeah, I know they do.
That's a feature. Why not include that?
I know they do, but I feel like, fuck it. Why are we, devoting resources
Personally, to that? I don't want my $500 box on all the time when I'm watching TV.
Yeah.
Why not just have the TV box on that I rent, and if it breaks, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, and you know what? I agree with you, Rocco. I feel like a lot of things feed into too many other things when I just want a standalone item.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm not even... Again, you throw in stuff, whatever, but just seeing it in action, it was a lot of like, don't you want to... Where's your TV? Don't you want to watch your TV? Don't you want... And it was... I just feel like we got to move on.
I don't like that because a lot of companies assume that you do want everything connected, and then they don't. You know, there are certain situations where they force you into it, especially with like. This isn't related to the Xbox, but on my smartphone, you know, I have an Android, and everything is just incorporated with Google, and it's annoying sometimes. Where it's just everything is constantly feeding into this one account, and it's like I don't want this account constantly running, and also I want to use other stuff.
Google Plus is getting huge backlash because all of the YouTube community doesn't want a fucking thing to do with it.
And also, wouldn't you save money on your electrical bill if you didn't have like, you know, multiple machines running at once to accomplish like the same thing that one machine could do?
When I want to go in the living room and watch TV, I go and I turn on the TV, the cable box, the AV receiver. I'm not gonna.
Well, now your Xbox One as well.
I don't. Well, that's the thing. I don't want that $500 system on just uselessly because I'm not the type of guy who switches. Like, I'm going to play Dead Rising for 5 minutes and then see back what's on TV and then back into the game. Like, has no interest for me. And this is the first kind of hardware that's ever had this pass-through that I've been interested in. I mean, I'm sure there's been other things, but before this gaming, this next-gen gaming console thing, I'd never seen anything that advertised this pass-through. This is literally the year me and Eric got rid of our cable. So we have no use for that now. And I think a lot of people have done that and gone Apple TV and they want to go use their Apple TV or their Chromecast. They don't want to go through, I don't know.
You know, I got rid of my cable a long time ago. That's funny.
Yeah.
I feel like our generation is so ready for a subscription app to the channels you want.
Yeah.
We're ready, and it's just this older generation that is, I mean, totally...
Yeah,
like that is all that's holding it back from happening, and it's just that's what I mean. It's like when I'm using it, it's just there's this lifeline to old shit that
I was just reading about something that happened in television. It was called the Rural Purge. I was on this like Wikipedia rabbit hole, and I came across this event in television history in the late 60s and early 70s where they basically canceled a ton of shows that were really popular. They canceled like Lassie. They canceled anything that was geared towards rural America because they found that those shows were really popular with an older generation. And so they got rid of them all, and they introduced this idea of a sitcom set in the city. You got stuff like Green Acres, you got just like these situational comedies that involve people from big cities in these new situations because they wanted shows that would attract a younger audience. And that was 40 years ago, and I feel like it's time for another one of those now on television, because I feel like a lot of shows on television are geared towards a much older audience. Shows like Two and a Half Men, Bazinga, Dancing with the Stars, like reality TV. I feel like there's...
Because we don't buy cable.
Yeah, and I feel like all the stuff I really like is on the internet, on Netflix, and it's just not on television. And they're not putting stuff on television that I would like to see anyways.
Yeah.
I think that makes me like really look at what they're putting on TV. I think a lot of TV nowadays is like what you see on cable or broadcast is geared more towards women our age, because the men, like, not to like knock anybody down, but in all honesty,
we use media.
Every girl I know says my boyfriend has whatever outside subscription service set up, and that's how we watch the majority of our TV. But I like watching Bravo. I like watching TLC and Lifetime, all these things that we've all like left from. But most of the time, when I have conversations with like women at work, customers, whatever, they're the ones who are watching cable while guys are off on Netflix, Redbox, Hulu, Amazon Prime.
Yeah, and maybe you're right. And I think we can agree that whatever it is, the TV audience is not the same audience of the people who are buying the Xbox One. So it's just kind of like mismatched.
Cable seems to me to be for an older generation who aren't as tech savvy to get access.
I basically say my parents.
Yeah, parents.
And people my parents' age.
And families and middle class and up, you know, it's just, we'll get the service to the house.
The only reason why I want... Sorry, go ahead.
No, we can afford the service because we're a family, because we're middle class, but we're all a bunch of single guys trying to save money and, we realize we're not using that, so we cut the cable bill and we just go with the a la carte system that's not as expensive. I mean, I would have cable if I was rich, if I could just afford to have.
For me, it's not even a matter of money. It just doesn't affect my life. I don't want to consume things that way. So
I want it for sports, and that's it.
Yeah, sports is the final bastion of
For me, it's HBO.
Once that, for me, it's HBO too. I just want that.
Yeah.
But
They don't stream sports on the internet?
Sports is the big thing. If they can,
it's not the way that it's not.
it's not done in any convenient
the
way.
same.
Exactly.
You get
Because if they did, would you cancel your TV subscription?
Oh, absolutely.
Well, no, because Jenny would want it, but if it was just for me, yeah.
and you have you're a family. You have the kids.
Right.
You know why? Because she wants to watch Bravo and
TLC.
Well, and you have kids.
Hey, haters.
Don't the kids
Look at
watch
this man.
a ton of
but
programming
it's all
for
on
them?
Netflix too.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
The kids were not going to get
Hey,
a
I
shit.
hate to end it, but we're like way over, and I have so much to do that I can't keep editing this. So if
Can't
it can
keep
either be
doing
not
it.
edited and we keep going, or I mean, it's up to you guys. I don't care, but I'm just letting you guys know that that's the situation.
Yeah, we were wrapping it up.
Okay, yeah, I just want to say real quick, we do have a Groove Shark